Joe Biden and Elon are at loggerheads again. This is an interesting story here. Now, I actually Googled to look for pictures of Elon Musk with Joe Biden, as in, I'm sure at some point they had some sort of meeting to discuss Tesla's investments in the US economy, and I can't find any. I did find a photo of Elon Musk with Donald Trump and a photo of Elon Musk with Barack Obama, but nothing with Joe Biden. Here's what has been happening. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Great to have you here on the channel. Welcome to the channel, all you new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. I hope you've had a fantastic day. Now, if you're new to the channel, we've actually created more than 1,000 videos over the last 8 or 9 months. So make sure you check some of those out. Now, Elon Musk had some interesting kind of rebuttal for Joe Biden recently following the US President's State of the Union speech. In both his speech and later on Twitter, Biden once again strongly praised General Motors and Ford for their electric vehicle investments and the jobs that those investments are going to create.
The rebirth of pride that comes from stamping products made in America, the revitalization of American manufacturing. Companies are choosing to build new factories here when just a few years ago they would have gone overseas. That's what's happening. Ford is investing $11 billion in electric vehicles, creating 11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history, $7 billion to build electric vehicles, creating 4,000 jobs in Michigan. All told, 369,000 new manufacturing jobs were created in America last year alone.
There's an interesting thing here, though. The reality is Tesla's investments are far greater than GM and Ford in terms of electric vehicle investments in America. Remember, the most American-made vehicles right now in America are Tesla vehicles. Worth considering that. There's something happening in America, he said. Just look around and you'll see an amazing story. The rebirth of pride that comes from stamping products made in America. The revitalization of American manufacturing. Companies are choosing to build new factories here when just a few years ago, they would have gone overseas. That's true. I agree with him on that point. That's what is happening. Ford is investing $11 billion in electric vehicles, creating 11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history, $7 billion to build electric vehicles, creating 4,000 jobs in Michigan, Biden said. Now, one thing Biden said here is he's massively understated these jobs figures. I don't know where he gets these numbers from because these jobs figures are nonsense. And hey, I'm not saying he's wrong, but he is wrong, because if you think that those 11,000 jobs are only going to create 11,000 jobs, you don't understand the automotive industry. And I do question if he understands the automotive industry fully. Those 11,000 jobs, that's not the real number. The real number will be closer to 80,000 because those jobs will create other jobs. Basically, what happens is the same thing that's happened in China. There's cities where the entire city is just an EV city. There's battery factories, there's parts factories. All those factories spring up in order to supply that factory. So those 11,000 jobs, there'll be at least, I would say, 80,000, potentially even more jobs created as a result of those local factories. Now, same thing for GM. The 4,000 jobs that GM is saying they're going to create, that's going to be probably 40,000. At least at minimum 30,000 additional jobs in ancillary support industries for those vehicles will spring up. So that's the other good news. So really, I agree with Joe Biden on praising GM and Ford. To be honest, they could have done better, but there's no point focusing on the negative. However, Biden is intentionally, once again, leaving out Tesla. And I don't think that he's doing himself any favors by doing this, because really, what is the most likely scenario that we're going to see play out by 2030? The most likely scenario is GM and Ford will continue to do what they're doing. They'll try hard. They'll probably be able to sell somewhere in the range of what they're selling now in terms of in 2030. Most of the vehicles that they sell that are not electric won't sell, so they'll just stop selling them. But that'll mean that their sales figures will probably be 60% of what they are today. On the other hand, Tesla's ramping up extremely aggressively. Very good chance that Tesla's sales in America will be higher, period, regardless of vehicle type, by 2026 than GM and Ford. highly likely, considering the significant advantages and head start that Tesla have structurally. They don't have to write off billions of dollars of losses of old factories and people who having to retrain people, having to get rid of all the production equipment that's no longer useful. There's so many things that are going to make it easier for Tesla to surpass General Motors and Ford that suggesting it won't happen is really disingenuous. I think really the ideal scenario here for Biden would be not to try and just target two companies and to leave out others simply because they're not part of your union that has been, basically bankrolling your campaigns for years, which is nothing wrong with that. That's the system. That's how it works. But why not just support all companies? Why not mention Rivian? Why not mention Lucid? Why not mention all EV makers in America? That, in my opinion, is where it becomes political, when you simply choose to focus on the two that are part of your union and have been supporting your campaigning for years. Now, while an $18 billion investment into electric vehicle programs and 14,000 jobs is no joke, and I think that'll be more like 100,000+ ancillary jobs in total, Tesla CEO Elon Musk was quick to point out that Tesla has created over 50,000 jobs in the United States, and that number will massively expand. I actually made a video about the Gigafactory in Texas, how that will actually create more than 100,000 jobs. I'll put a link in the description below to that video that I made. It's worth checking that out. That's a lot of jobs. Over 100,000. That's insane. Now, Tesla is still growing its footprint in the United States. It's not stopping here. More is coming. They're going to be building more factories for LFP batteries with Giga Shanghai tech. They're going to be building more cars once Gigafactory Texas starts to ramp up. They're going to be building more batteries at Gigafactory Nevada and at Gigafactory Texas, and potentially even at Fremont. I don't know what's going on there, potentially as well. But regardless, Tesla is not slowing down. What does that all mean? Well, it actually means that Tesla has invested more than double that General Motors and Ford combined have invested. More than double that Ford and GM combined have invested. That's a lot of money. Tesla has created over 50,000 US jobs building electric vehicles and is investing more than double General Motors and Ford combined, Musk replied. And that's not just what they've invested so far. That's also what they're planning to invest in the future. That's worth considering. Tesla doesn't crow about that often, but it's worth pointing that out. In an email to CNBC, Musk joked that nobody is watching the State of the Union. Let me know, did you watch the State of the Union? Yeah, I didn't. I know I'm an Australian, but I don't think many Americans watch it either. Previous messages to the news agency from the CEO also stated that the US president has pointedly ignored Tesla at every turn and stated to the public that GM leads the electric car industry. When in fact, Tesla produced over 300,000 vehicles, in fact 309,000 vehicles in the last quarter of 2021, and GM produced 26. Yeah, that's not a misprint, that's true. Musk's statement is accurate, as GM only sold 25 Chevy Bolts and a single GMC Hummer EV in Q4 of 2021. Now, it's not accurate to say they only sold that number. They only delivered that number. Deliveries are what matters, because there's more than 2 million pre-orders for all different models of EVs in America. It's not about how many pre-orders you have, unfortunately. It actually just comes to how many vehicles you can deliver. Recent reports have provided a hint at the US president's apparent hesitation to give Musk and Tesla any acknowledgement for their work in the electric vehicle sector. Now, Tesla already says that sources reportedly familiar with the Biden administration's stance have stated that Biden's advisors are pushing back against the idea of inviting Musk to future industry events, because he might say or do something to embarrass the US president. I don't think he will, but even if he did, who cares? We can all have a good laugh and whatever. It's no big deal. Don't need to take things so seriously. Musk responded to those concerns with a promise that they have nothing to worry about. I would do the right thing, promise. I think based on this, that maybe he's playing some kind of joke if it does ever actually happen, to kind of tongue-in-cheek make a mockery of this whole game, this whole scenario. It's a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? So getting back to that point that I made at the start of this video, I think it's about time for Joe Biden and Tesla CEO Elon Musk to have their photo moment so I can add it to one of the videos on the channel. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. What are your opinions on this? Let me know what you think. Have a great day. See you again. Bye-bye.